Good morning, everybody. My name is Rico, and this is my first video. So please bear with me. Um, I'm quite a very fast speaker, so I'm going to speak quite slowly so that you can understand me. So please bear with me. English is not my mother tongue, so please, again, bear with me. Now, so that you are aware, I created SetUpps Trading Academy 2020, and I've been training a few people since then. I've had successful candidates, and I built my strategies based on my failures, my experiences, and I have decided to share for the first time in years my first video, starting off with YouTube. I've always traded and loved every bit about trading. I would say I've always, in the last 10 years, I've been sort of trading. I took it serious about 7 years ago, and I've been teaching people one-on-one how to trade. I've had a few courses and a few workshops in the past, but I haven't never gone online. So this is my very first time putting a video together like this. So please bear with me. I may be a bit slow or moving things around because I'm not very quite private. But I thought it's about time I shared my experience with people, teach more people, and basically do what I love most. Now, my strategy setups has a few strategies, and I've sort of tried to simplify it so that new trainers, beginner traders, and even experienced ones that want a simple strategy that does the job, basically to be able to use it. So, as you know, no trading signal or trading strategy is 100% because no one can predict the market. However, we will with probabilities. And if you have a strategy that is well tested and used, I use my strategy very frequently. I've had a lot of losses in the past, a lot of heartache. To be honest with you, it even affected my health, and had to rethink it all. Thought, give it up. Well, I thought, no, I love doing it. So I decided to devote my time. I've always been in business, but what I found out as a businessman, when you set targets and you expect results, and the trading doesn't work like the world that we live in. So you need to develop a very strong psychology, work on your mental health, make sure that you're in a good place before you trade. So I've learned all these things, read a lot of books, read loads of books, financial education, and a lot of all the things that I'll share with you at some point, but share some gems in terms of the right books for trading, the books that have worked for me. I've read loads of them, and the books that will be great, and you find books that suit you most. So everyone has their own, I would say, style or personality, and you go find a strategy that works with your personality. So this strategy, I think, works for everybody because it's I've created this indicator and also an algorithm that could help trading, but that I'll get to that another point at another stage, not today. But the main aim of the video today is to teach you guys how to trade with the SetUpps Frisx Razor Signal Indicator. That is on TradingView at the moment. It's only by invitation. However, the you would see for yourself how what's the right word to use? How effective it is in terms of the execution. Now, as I said earlier, no strategies is 100%. However, I was trading yesterday with it, and I can tell you that it's a very, very profitable indicator. So I'll start off by explaining. I've actually gone through it today. So if you look at the chart, the marked area, the grayed area, is where I've set the indicator to start. So I tend to trade during the London session and New York session. So I've sort of given a few hours, a couple of hours before the London session opens, about 6 o'clock in the morning, where there's no movement, the Asian market closes, and obviously to the end of the day. So throughout 6 o'clock till 9 p.m., you can see that is a grey area, and that's where the signals would work, and also my bot will work. After these hours, it will not execute any trades or signal or trigger. So in a nutshell, I've sort of made it a bit easier because I did the first video, recorded it, and I realized I made a bit of a mistake. It wasn't nothing to do with trading, it was just based on my setup. So I thought I would mark these areas so it saves a bit of time, because no one wants to sit on the computer for that long trying to get me to measuring and using the tools and trying to find where they were. So I've marked it out for you. So you can see, and I'm going to sort of dissect it a little bit. So if I go back, so this was yesterday. Today is actually the 22nd of the 4th, which is April 2026. I've got to slow down because I speak very fast. So 2026, 22nd of April. And this was my trade for yesterday. So I thought I'd share it today, and I'll probably do another video because this indicator is designed or actually designed to work on GBP USD and GBP USD. At some point, I was sort of dabbling with US 30 and Nasdaq. I did make some money on it, but I don't enjoy trading those. With GU, I've sort of almost mastered it, and gold again can be unpredictable. However, it does seem to correlate with this pair, so that the signal works really well on the two. So yesterday in the morning at about, and I'm going to sort of open up a little bit so you can see the candlestick. So the candle the signal was triggered at that's it right there. So that it was triggered at 6:21, a sell trigger, and at, again, I have to move this because it's in the way. Yeah, at 9:04 it closed. So that I've set it up on the 1 minute chart as a 20 pip 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, which means I'm willing to lose 20 pips per trade and willing to gain 20 pip per trade on that same trade. So if the market should go against me, I would lose 20 pips, and if it goes in my favor, I would make 20 pips. So that's the way I've set this. You can set it as 1 to 2, whatever suits you. You can go into settings in an indicator and set it to suit you, but I have tested it. I trade it this way, and on a 1 minute, I trade it. I set it up as 20-20 at 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So if we go back to, again, the chart, yesterday it took us about 3 hours for it to hit TP, and that was 20 pips in profit. So that was a signal, sell, went into a bit of drawdown, and then into profit. Now the next trigger was at about, I think it was on that candle, which was, what time was that? It was 9:06. So at 9:06, we had a buy signal that went a little bit into drawdown, and I would say it was almost at probably about 16 pips. into drawdown. Now, normally someone might think, oh my goodness, it's going against. When you're in a trade and you're looking at it, you'd see it going down, goes up, hits that, comes back down again, and you can see it going red, red, red down, and you think, oh no, oh, it's not working. Leave it. Because the moment that you enter the trade, or you went with a signal, or you've accepted that you were willing to risk 20 pips. So the 20 pips is what you, regardless of whether it goes in your favor or not, it's 20 pips is your risk. So as soon as you press the button, you commit to it and leave it. Even if it goes down to 19.5 pips, leave it and accept your risk. Now that's the psychological side of it, where I would share some videos in future. Now that I'm sort of beginning to get myself into it, I've got loads of content to share. So I'm going to build my confidence and share more as I go along in terms of presenting, because I said this is my first ever video on YouTube. So I'm going to bring stuff this a bit closer, and you can see that it played up a bit, but it took 3 hours to get to the target. Now, if I go across, so far we had a sell and that hit profit, and we had a buy that also hit profit. So far we've had 100% success rate. All right. As we move further down, we can see that we had another buy signal. Now we've got two so far. We can see now here. I'm going to explain it in a bit more detail. Now, what I'm trying to do here is right. So, as you can see, we had a trigger at about, let's have a look. 6:09 p.m. last night, or yesterday in the evening, and that was a trigger. Again, the price went against us, and it was in a drawdown. As you can see, went down again almost about 75%. Well, I'll say about 50% at that point. And at that point, when you're in the trade, you were probably thinking, oh my goodness, it's going against me. Again, oh, it's not working. But then see what happens. If you look right there, you can see that another buy signal triggered. Now, you've been in a trade. That trade starts at 6:09, and then another 10 minutes later, another signal is triggered. So at this point, there's two things you can do. You can either ignore it or take another trade. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but that's what I would do. That's what I do because I have confidence in my signal and my strategy. So I will take another trade again because it's giving me a signal to buy. So now I've got two trades open. Now, if obviously you've maxed out on your daily risk allowance, then do not take the second trade. If you haven't, and say you've mixed, my daily risk is 1%. So I risk about 0.5%, sometimes 0.25% of my account per trade. So this would have been 50%, 0.5%, and again 0.5. So I've maxed out in the day. Now, if I had another signal, I wouldn't take that because I've maxed out of my maximum trading allowance. So in this case, you've got another signal. Even though you've got another signal and you've been in drawdown for a bit, this trade, first signal, has not hit your stop loss yet. Now, I don't think I remember I explained it, but this green line here, I'm going to just open up a little bit. This green line here, when you get a signal, the red line is a stop loss, and the green line is the take profit level. So again, if you're selling, it's the same thing. The red line is a stop loss, the green line is a take profit level. Okay, sorry, I don't remember explaining that earlier on. So you can see that the TP is, again, I'm going to change that, make sure I've got it right, exactly 20. Okay, there we go. Right, So take profit, it did not hit take profit. That triggered. Now you've taken, let's assume you've taken another tip, another buy trade. So you've got 2 buy trades open. That buy trade has a stop loss on that level and the TP on that level. That buy trade has a stop loss on this level and the TP on that level. So you can see 20 pips in profit, 20 pips stop loss, 20 pips take profit, 20 pips stop loss. So you've got 2 different signals here. Now, funny enough, this trade, 619, 10 minutes later, after that one here, triggers, and it doesn't go much into drawdown, but it goes straight into profit. So within about 14 minutes, that opened and closed in profit. But that first one is still live and in a drawdown. However, when that went into profit, that had crossed the entry for the first order. So that now is in profit as well, but that's closed. So at this point, this is closed. You've backed your 20 pips. And that one is probably done about 8 pips, give or take. And eventually, at about 6:42, that hits the take profit. And now you've done 40 pips profit from just that section. Don't forget, in the morning, you have had 2 triggers, one there which hit 20 pips and another one that hit 20 pips. So that's 40 pips profit, 20 pips profit here, 20 pips profit there, 20 pips profit here, 20 pips profit here. So you've made 80 pips profit in just one day. Now, the next signal pops up right there. So let me open up a little bit, zoom in a bit so we can see it in a bit more detail. So you can see right there on that candle, sorry to tell the lie, it's on this candle, same candle that broke it, closed that trade, and it triggered a signal for a sell. So what happened here is that's triggered, that's closed, that's triggered a new sell, goes into a bit of drawdown, say about 50%, give or take, about 10 pips drawdown, and then it reverses in about 3 minutes, you're back in profit. Goes down, 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 keeps going down, goes back up, comes back down, and within about, hang on a second, so from 6:42 to 7:15, that is gone into profit as well, and you've bagged in another 20 pips. Okay, so now this, as I said earlier on, is set to last for up till 9 p.m. As you can see right there, and it cuts out. So the signal comes again at 8:41 p.m. and it triggers a buy here on this candle here, that candle, right? A buy goes into a bit of a drawdown here, plays about here for a bit, goes on. Now it goes into profit, and then it goes into a bit of a drawdown. It hangs about for a bit. Now, after 9 p.m., there will be no more triggers. However, if you are in a trade, it's totally up to you what you want to do. You can, as I said, I will leave the trade because I accepted my risk when I entered the trade. So I would just leave it, ignore this, and leave it as it is, and turn my computer off because the trade is already set. You're going to take a profit set at 20 pips. And when I start introducing the bots, then maybe we can work out a sort of way to subscribe to it. But for now, just to show you, if you want to trade it manually, you can then leave it, or you can close it. At the loss, is totally up to you. or leave it. But if you left it, you'd realize that at 9:09, price just shot up and hit your take profit. So that's 20 pips backed again. So if you look back at yesterday, which was the 21st, you can tell that the SetUpps Frisx Razor Signal Indicator triggered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signals, of which 4 were buy signals and 2 were sell signals, and with 100% success rate, which means 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 times 6 was 120 pips. Now, as I said earlier on, no trading strategy is 100%. However, yesterday was a 100% day. So let's just go back, just a quick sort of refresher on the day before. Just this is random. Let's see whether it worked or not on the day before. So on the day before, this is not part of the video, but I'm just going to go back so that you can see the authenticity of what it is I'm all about. You can see straight away that even the day before, it triggered a few signals. I mean, that must have been choppy. I don't know what was going on, but look at that. There was a lot of signals. But if you look at it, none of the signals which were triggered hit stop loss. Right? So I'm assuming you'd have taken one of them. But even if you've taken, let me just put this on there so we can have a look. So let's assume we give a buy signal on which level. I can't even. Let's just say we went for the first level. So I'll go to go for a 1-to-1 risk reward again, which is 2020. Remember, it's 40 pip span. So it's 2020. So I'm gonna go with, hold on a second, 20 pip stop loss. Sorry, take profit, and 20 pip stop loss. All right. You can see here, so you can tell. I mean, I've got 4. Every time that it triggers a signal, it will display the take profit and the stop loss level. So I'm just I can't tell which one it is, but I can. If I go closer to 1, it will tell me. You can tell that that's it. So the first signal would have been this one here, which triggered on. Let me just open up a little bit more so we can see it. All right. So the first signal was triggered on that candle right there. That's it. So what happened there, if you can see, it triggered there, it triggered a few, then it triggered here again, and it triggered there. So again, the market playing up, but it was still triggering anyway. But even if you go with the first, I'm going to go with the first one and the last one. Okay, so let's assume the first one. If we go, none of them, it didn't hit stop loss at any point. I'm going to shrink it so we can see it. If it hit stop loss at any point, it goes and boom, hit TP. Right, so that was the day before. This was what day was that? I'm trying to find it. Monday, the 20th. Yep, Monday the 20th. So you can tell, and that was triggered. The first one was triggered about at 6:26, and it closed at 8:20. So again, about a couple of hours and 20 pips down. Right. Now, even if I go into the last thingy, the last signal, which was that one here, so if I bring it right to that signal and then go to the last one, so that would be the last. This would have been the last signal, which was take profit here, sorry, stop loss here, and take profit there. And you can see that again, it did not touch the top stop loss at all, way down, and it went and hit TP within a shorter period of time. Okay, so you can see how profitable that is. Now let's go on to the next one. I'm going to delete that. And I said this wasn't planned. Honestly, it was not planned, but I thought I'll share it. So this one here, again, we had a sell signal at, what time was that? That was on this candle at 10:59. So we've got a sell signal here. 10, and then we need a 20 again. Sorry, let me just do this. So you can tell it's my first video, so I'll get better at this. Right, cool. So again, I'm going to change. Oh, it's 2020. It's done it. Right, cool. So 2020. So 20 stop loss, 20 take profit. So you can tell it triggered at that time. It went into a drawdown. You can see it went into a drawdown. Look at that. Went into a drawdown. And then it was still in a drawdown. We had a buy signal. Now, totally up to you. That was still, the buy signal came when you were still in profit of 6.6 pips. I don't know what you'd have done. I don't know. I know what I would have done. I would have closed it at 6.6 pips. It's 1 minute chart. I see as a scalp and close it. 6.6 pips is still profit. Okay. So I would have closed it and taken a buy. That's what I'd have done. Okay. So that did not hit take profit, but however, it wasn't at a loss when the next signal was triggered. So I will call it a win. Okay. So let's assume we leave that there. And then we go with the buy signal. Okay, so the buy signal, we had a buy signal on this candle right there, that's it. So that was there. And again, that was a 20 pip, 2020. So let me just do this here. 20, change this to 20, and change that to 20. Ignore that, that was a bottle next to me, plastic bottle. A bit noisy, loud. Right, so you can see right there that triggered. Let me just move it so that it's actually, that's it, on the stop loss right there, and then the take profit, and that was the entry right on that candlestick right there. That triggered. There we go. Yeah, there. Not quite. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Triggered there, and then went into a bit of a drawdown. For about what, 8 pips. Maybe 7, and then into profit, and then boom, again, that was profit, 20 pips profit. Okay, so you'd have got 6 pips from here and got 20 pips from there, so that was still not a loss. Okay, and I think that was it for yesterday, if I'm right. Yeah, no, so the day for Monday. So again, Monday had, let me copy this and show you. I'll go on to today next so you can see for yourself. So this is again today. So Monday was profit on the last one and on the first one. Either way, none hit TP. So total pips for Monday, give or take, 26 plus 20. That's 46 pips on Monday. So Monday you've made 46 pips. Now I'm not saying it's guaranteed because the market is unpredictable. However, this week has been a solid week. Okay, and I'm going to be putting these videos together so we can sort of monitor it together. You can see it. I'll try and post every day if I can, so you can see the daily. If I miss it, I'll probably put a video together that will cover the other days so we can see. So that's my promise to you this week, to post all 5 days of trading so we can see how many pips we make at the end of the week. So far we've made 46 pips on Monday and 120 pips on Tuesday. So today is Wednesday the 22nd. So let's go to today to see what's happening so far. So today we've had, okay, so as I speak to you now, as I record this, it's 1:21 p.m. on Wednesday the 22nd of April. And this morning we had a trigger, and that would have been at, what time was this? Time in a second, because that is covered. Right, so that would have been 6:16 in the morning. It triggered. So let me get my short tool and pop it right here somewhere, and put the stop loss of 20 pips. I'll put 20 pips TP and 20 pips stop loss. Okay, so we can see right there. So we've got, as you see, it's now on a 15 minutes chart. I have a 50 pip stop loss with a trailing stop loss on it as well, but that's another video. So this triggered on this candle here, which is the big one here. That's it right there. Triggered that time, went into a drawdown, came back into profit. we're following it. That's today. Now I haven't traded this yet because I've been busy putting this video together and trying to get my head around stuff. So I haven't traded it yet. So this is into drawdown, 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 drawdown. And at this point today, let's have a look. There has been 11:02, another trigger. So what do you do at this point? You are 4.4 pips in profit. You've got a new signal. What would I do? I would close it. Okay. So at one point it went into profit of about 10 pips. But I, again, went back. So it depends on if you want to take 10 pips, you have to scalping in 1 minute, take 10 pips, or you can just wait. And I would wait. I've got a bad habit. I would take a profit, right, if the market presents it to me. So sometimes I would not wait till TP. That is something that I do when I'm scalping. But when I'm using the strategy, I will wait for it to hit TP unless I get a new signal. Does it make sense? So in this case, that is a signal at this time, and it's 4.5 pips, 4.4 pips, and I'm going to close it and take the buy signal. Now you'd realize that if I'm taking the buy signal, let's see, this is almost at a low. So let's see, bear me 2 seconds. No, we want a long. So I would have made 4.4 pips today and taking the trade. So on that candlestick, again, 20 pips. By the way, 200 ticks for those that are new equals 20 pips. Now I'll do another video at some point explaining all that. Okay, so that's 20 pips stop loss. It went into a profit at about 7 pips. Went down, 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 down. Look at this. It's gone as close as the stop loss. Now this is what I meant. Look at this. All right, guys. Now slippage, spreads. It depends on the platform you're using, and depend on the broker you're using. Spreads and slippage, all those things could affect price. So I can't tell for sure whether your trade are closed or still being in trade. But from what I am teaching and using here with the TradingView account, you can see that it went close enough, but I did not hit a stop loss. So as I speak to you now, this trade, as I record at this very minute at 1:25, this trade is still live. So far today, this trade is still live. Okay, or as I said, the market is still alive, put this way. Okay, so this buy trade is still live and has not hit hit stop loss yet. Okay, so yeah, I thought I was going to keep it quite short, but unfortunately it's gone over to my half an hour. So I'm going to leave you with it, and hopefully tomorrow we can get another video out for you guys to watch. But yeah, thank you very much. So far we made 4.4 pips profit, but we are at a drawdown. We're in a drawdown of 12 pips. Okay, all right, thank you. Bye.